Hello everyone, today I want to talk about getting shaken up to get waken up on today's episode of the 1 Year Life Challenge. Hello everyone, the concept of becoming awake is just such an incredible insight into how the human mind works. I fundamentally believe it's such a great word because I feel like I was sleepwalking for the majority of my life until I was wakened up to the reality of things and my anxiety could leave and I could be a true version of my real self. I want to start with a quote, and this quote is from one of the main men for sure, the Buddha, and what the Buddha said was, "Each morning we are born again. What we do today matters most," the Buddha. This concept, while it seems simple, is fundamental to you living your true self. I guarantee you've made mistakes in the past. I guarantee you've also had accomplishments in the past. But the relativity of those problems, challenges, or beliefs today is zero. You will face new, novel tasks in today's day, and the only way you can deal with them is coming from this present moment. You can't use victories from the past to solve today's problems, but more importantly, the defeats of the past have nothing to do with the challenges of today. My personal story is that, like I said in the intro, I feel like I was asleep for so long in my life, and to try and explain that in words is very challenging, but it's just a feeling. The feeling that when I wake up now with an understanding that we are all connected and I have nothing to concern myself about because dealing with this moment is all I need to do, I wake up with more energy, I deal with challenges much more effectively, and I really notice my life. I notice the little things in my life. To give you an example, the last 2 years of my life feel like they've been longer than the last 20 years of my life, which is the opposite. Most people feel like time is getting quicker as they get older. Why is that? Well, maybe because they're not noticing things as they get older. As a kid, you could stare at a cardboard box for 10 minutes. You probably couldn't do that or wouldn't do that as an adult. Now, what's interesting is that the more junk and thoughts that come into your head, the less you're living life. And the less you're living life, of course, it makes sense that life seems shorter, or the weeks seem shorter, the years seem shorter as you get older. So, I've got here 7 ways to wake up. Now, waking up is something you have to do. If it happens on your deathbed, well, it happens on your deathbed. But the earlier it happens, the more you start living. It's really fundamentally important that we look at life in 2 ways. Life of living the conditioned beliefs of others, which really isn't living, or the life that begins the day you drop the expectations and become your true self. So number 1, this is interesting. Don't wait for rock bottom, embrace it. I believe that most people are waiting for a tragedy to happen before they change. They say things like, "I'll do this when this happens." Now, the reality is that they can do it right now, but they're waiting for, unfortunately for many people, a tragedy. They're waiting to get diagnosed with diabetes before they change that diet. They're waiting for, divorce before they look at why relationships fail in their lives. And the beauty of the human mind, it's one of the disadvantages, but the advantage is we can forecast and predict things. So don't wait for the divorce, don't wait for the death, don't wait for the sickness and the illness to hit you. Think about if you continue with your current actions and you would be in the doctor's office and being told that your heart's under pressure and you may be having diabetes. Transport yourself there, see how it feels, and then come back into the moment to make the changes necessary. Just make one decision that might change your life. Number 2, know deeply, you're gonna die. You're gonna die. It's it's life's hilarity that we die, because it says, I don't care if you're getting caught up in soap operas and TV shows. I don't care if you think that the sunrise is boring, because at the end of the day, you're gonna die. And that really brings freshness to everything. You're not going to get 1,000,000 sunsets. You're just not. You're going to get an undetermined amount of sunsets. So live and treat everyone with respect who's going to die as well, because we're all sensitive to that, right? We all walk around with this knowledge that we're going to die over our heads, but it's there to remind you to live as much as possible. Number 3, the old story of Monopoly. You're there, you're fighting over hotels, you got your brother lands on Mayfair and you're like, the rent, give me my rent. That's that monopoly concept that we live in. Monopoly, remember, is a way of teaching children capitalism, consumerism. Hammer people, borrow money from the bank, they can never run out of money. You can start writing, the IOUs for the bank. Sounds like the World Bank to me. Sounds like, all federal banks, they don't really need money. And what happens at the end? At the end of the game, no matter how much you smashed your brother or your sister cried because you bought her, you wouldn't let her get any more buildings, it gets put away into the box and it starts again. And the next day, no one remembers he had 6 hotels. Remember that that's just like life. All these things you're desperate to get, the new picket fence, the extension on the house, great, get them, enjoy them, but remember, you don't take them with you. And you know that concept that the pharaohs used to use of filling their tombs with junk to take to the afterlife, we know that maybe that's unscientific. But we still live like that. We still live like we're trying to furnish our homes and furnish our our Facebook profiles with all this stuff that's ultimately not going to come with us. The only thing you take with you is your karma and your love. Build that, because that's something you can take with you. Number 4, who's in charge? Who is in charge here? Is your boss determining your life? Well, I hope not. Or are you determining your life? And more importantly, this goes one level deeper. You know, if you've ever seen Fight Club, this will make a lot of sense. Is the voice in your head determining your life? And are they the boss? And what I can tell you is you can have 2 bosses from my experience. You have the voice in your head boss or reality. Reality is a great boss because everything in it is vivid and you can deal with it. The thought in your head boss sometimes can take you down some unusual paths, and mental illness is simply listening to the voice in your head. I can guarantee you no one who's got stuck into getting work done, loving their families, or really being present in the moment has ever had a mental illness, because they've dealt with what's in front of them, not the boss in their head. Number 5, you can wake up at any moment. This is something that's happened to many people over time where, you know, they've had an instant satori, it's a flash of insight and brilliance. And this is why you don't have to stress too much. You don't have to get your meditation perfect. You don't have to, worry, as you build yourself, because at any time you can have a flash of brilliance and insight into an enlightenment. It is there waiting for you at any moment. All you have to do is be ready. 6, visit graveyards. This is one of my favourite, and for a lot of people who know me, the creepiest thing. I like to go to graveyards and just look at the tombstones and just bless and forgive and think about the lives of these individuals in the ground who are rotting, and how what they would do if they just had one more day on earth, what they would do if they got one more chance to live a year, and how much love and abundance, and how they would just forget about the mortgage and get things done if they could just be alive for one more minute. It's such a refreshing, empowering way, and I believe those headstones are there to remind us that we all have an expiry date, so let's make the most of it, right? And number 7, put this moment and yourself first. You can't become awake thinking of the past. You can't become awake worrying about the future. You are the most important person in the universe, because through you, love, kindness, and charity begin. You can make an impact on other people's lives when you feel great about yourself. So don't put the photos of the wedding 3 years ago first. Put this moment first. Put this conversation first. Put this video first. Put everything you're doing right now as the number 1 priority. And while you do that, put yourself first. Something to think about. Becoming awakened is our journey, is our right. And I can guarantee you sometimes it feels like life just starts on that day, that you sort of wake up from the ridiculous media concepts that we're being thrust in our throat and you just go, no, I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm going to do what I love. When that happens, it really is cool. We're doing that as we go through video by video. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Until then, goodbye.